If you get a really effective coach, they will dramatically improve your ability to get from A to B as quickly and effectively as possible.
You constantly have to level up. There is no standing still. You're either moving forward or you're getting left behind.
You can absolutely hack the system to get started, and I absolutely recommend that everybody does this.
Time to get fired up. Yeah, I'm getting fired up.
Your thoughts can become plans. Plans can become actions. And actions become a reality. We share powerful stories and simple steps to fast track your business and personal growth. Are you ready to make it happen? Let's get fired up. Today's guest is Ross Dougal. For over 2 decades, he's worked in specialist roles to help companies grow. He's got a wealth of experience, but is focused on one simple thing: performance. How to get from A to B as quickly as possible. He's also helping his wife to go after big goals, is a dad of 2 young boys, and works for a leading global sports technology company where business meets human performance. A short time ago, he started to race in the demanding sport of off-road triathlons across ocean swimming, mountain biking, and trail running, and he's heading off to the World Championships later this year. If you're keen to learn how to navigate your performance whilst leading a busy life, then stick around. Welcome back. We are here again with Ross Dougal, and we are going to focus on the topic today of how to shortcut your success, how to get there faster. And for someone who is I'm going to say, whether you agree or not, but I call you a high performance athlete, just based on what you've achieved. And you can talk about that as we go through this. But some of the key things and tactics really comes back to the specialist and the coach, people who know what to do and are the number one or a very, very key influence or specialist in that particular niche. So Ross, tell us in as much detail as you like, but when did you start getting coaches involved and what were they helping you with specifically?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, you can absolutely hack the system and hack high performance. So to get started, and I absolutely recommend that everybody does this, sign up for something. Sign up for it today. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to sign up for something, and then you've got instant motivation. It's right there. Yeah. But again, what we talked about at the start a few episodes ago is that we want to become driven so we can be consistent and get much better results than what we ever thought. So after my first race, I went, wow, that didn't go well. How can I find a coach? So again, success, as we've mentioned, leaves clues. So I had a look at who were some of the best performing athletes. I then had a look at who were some of the really professional coaches. Who were professional coaches? And that's a really important thing to dial in, is that a professional coach is someone who coaches for a living. They have got bona fide results and skills in being a professional coach. And this is absolutely critical because I've made some mistakes in this area. A professional coach has got time for you, okay? And absolutely, those coaches are worth their time, and consequently, you have to pay for them. And that's fantastic because that gives you another level of accountability, that there is someone who is sitting there and watching your performance every single week. Yeah. So that was the starting point.
When it comes to coaching and specialists, you're inundated with choice.
Yes.
And everybody's got accolades, credentials, and everything else. What do you think is the most important thing when partnering with a coach? Why did you choose this person over that person when they've both got skills, credentials, whatever?
Absolutely. And it was easy to see those things. Yeah. And with every single coach who I reached out to, I had a discovery call to check off those things. But what I'm doing is actually a really technically advanced and difficult sport. So for me, it was the technical skills. And they grew and developed those technical skills through coaching many other high performance athletes, but then separately doing that previously as athletes themselves.
Right.
So they had absolutely and clear experience in technical things that I didn't know how to do.
What about, I guess, the connection and the fit? There's people who do great things, but you're like, I just kind of don't resonate with this person. I don't kind of like them. We're not gelling.
100%. And, do you have to gel with your coach? I don't think you have to, but there certainly has to be a really clear meeting of the minds, and you should enjoy those reactions. And it should be somebody who you have a relationship with that you feel accountable Two, and absolutely someone who can understand what you're going through and be honest with you. And it's not that it should sit there and be this glorified kind of coaching club and it's exclusive and it's great to get into. This is somebody who is there to be an expert and to help and support you. And that's really important.
Yeah, love that. I think it is absolutely important to have the structure that works for you. In my coaching programs, there is a full structure there. This is the 6-month plan. This is what it is broken down to per month.
Amazing.
If you're not on board with that, then let's find someone else that you can work with, because it has to work for both parties, right? But I find
100%.
this structure works. A monthly plan works, and then we check off the milestones as we go. So that has to be a fit there. And more than happy to say, hey, it's not the right fit. I can't help you with A, B, and C, but we can point you in the opposite direction. Or let's customize this, and I can help you with these two things.
Yes.
But I think having that structure in place and actually having that fit as well is critical. And to your point, the discovery call or the suitability call actually starts to bounce that off. Are you going to take this advice on board? Are you going to follow this plan? Does this result that I'm aiming towards match the result that you're trying to go for? And you've got to tick those things off because you're both committing to it. Coach is committing to it and you're committing to it. And
Absolutely.
we both want results, right? Because someone coaches you for 6 months, your performance goes backwards. Hey, coach, that's your fault. You did this to me. You told me to eat this and now I've lost all this weight. You told me to do that and that's how I pulled my ACL. When it comes to that, you've obviously gone through this. How many coaches have you got at the moment?
3.
Okay, and they're specialists in each of those disciplines?
Absolutely.
First of all, and I want to talk about the investment. You don't have to tell us the figure, but
Sure.
You've obviously invested a substantial amount of money into this over the last 4 years.
Absolutely.
Question number 1, which is a yes, no, has it got you the results that you wanted?
Without doubt.
Has it got you results better than you imagined?
Yeah, look, and to dig into that story a little bit, after my first race, I then had a period over a couple of years where I was executing the plan.
Yeah.
So it is very, very easy, like with what you have with your clients and your customers, for me to see how well is the training and my activity going. If the session's completed and on task, it goes green. If not, if it's midway, it's yellow, and if it wasn't to expectation or it wasn't done, it turns red. It's very easy to see if I was actually holding up my end of the bargain. I held up my end of the bargain for at least a couple of years, and instead of being at the very back of the races, I started to progress towards the podium. And then I probably achieved a national record for coming fourth. And I started to feel really bad about that. I talked to an elite athlete and he said, "Oh, awesome, you got the chocolate medal." So it's not the gold, it's not the silver, it's not the bronze. The chocolate medal is for the fourth person. You get absolutely nothing except to go home and wash everything that you raced in. And no matter where I was racing, who I was racing against, what the course was, what the terrain was, at least 10 times in a row, I got the chocolate medal. And something really important that people need to understand is that if you're working with a coach who has seen success before, you have to trust the process. It is absolutely important that you don't give up, because you do not know if success is going to be just around the corner. You can't tell me if that marketing campaign is going to do A, B, C in the results. We're talking about human behavior here, right?
Yeah.
And that got to a point where really shortly after that, now ranked in the top 2 nationally for those particular races.
Yeah.
So you just have to trust the process.
Trust the process. Love it. If you go to the Olympics, the goal, and everyone's got the same goal, to win the race.
Yeah.
The person who comes first, and sometimes that's by 100th of a second, gets the gold, gets the endorsements, gets the accolades, gets all of these things. And that person who was just 100th of a second behind them gets a little bit, and third gets a little bit, and fourth gets nothing. So you can be the 4th best runner in the world, and people forget your name and they don't know you at all because you've come, not good enough. I think the message that I'm trying to talk about there is you constantly have to level up, because, and that's why records are broken at every Olympics. You're like, how is that possible? How can people run faster than what they were doing 10 years ago? But it's the training, it's the coaching, it's the pushing the boundaries, and essentially going, there is no fourth. So whether you're running a business or doing high performance sports or anything like that, you are going to have to put in the effort, find the expertise to level that up. Because if you don't, there is no standing still. You're either moving forward or you're getting left behind. Give our audience, I guess, one key message out of this coaching stuff, because I think the big investment, time out of your week, and that's not just to meet with the coach, but then implement what they're asking. That's affecting family time and everything else. But what would be the one key message to the audience on why they should explore and find one if they're trying to improve any element of their life?
What I would bring that back to is that steel sharpens steel.
Yeah.
And I'll have to wait for a race to find out how am I going to go. I don't have control over what other people are going to do. But the great thing about having a business or for chasing those dreams, you get to find out every single day. And it might be difficult to tell, well, did we get to gold medal? What was that for my particular business? But the thing to feel very reassured about is that if you get a really effective coach, they will dramatically improve your ability to get from A to be as quickly and effectively as possible with better results than you ever dreamed of. But most importantly, you will be blown away by what that will make of you as a person as you go through that journey. You smash through things that you thought were impossible challenges. And in my case, all it took was signing up for a race. That's 2 minutes, making a quick call and getting a coach. And where I am now, 4 years apart from where I started, is almost a completely different person. I did not have a special background or capabilities. All I did was just follow the playbook. Anyone can do it.
Ross, been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. I really appreciate your time and stories. Ross is going to put a 12-week challenge up in the resources section of our website. So go to firedup.life to get that. There'll be some instruction in there on what that looks like for you to actually try and test and put these things in place. Ross is also a highly valuable and active contributor in our Facebook group. So join the private Fired Up Facebook group, and Ross is in there if you want to ask any questions or share any of these wins and get some feedback from him as well. Mate, thanks again. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. And for people who are keen to jump into the Facebook group, it's an incredible resource. I'll commit to anyone who sees these episodes, if they write me a question there, I will 100% guarantee that I'll give you a response. Hopefully I can help out, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. If you've enjoyed this episode, then subscribe on YouTube or follow our podcast on your favorite platform. We drop a new episode every week. You'll be doing us a massive favor. If you know someone that would benefit from listening to this, then share it with them. You'll be doing them a massive favor. And if you want the tips, tools, and resources to support you on this journey, then join our exclusive Facebook community and follow our socials. You'll be doing yourself a massive favor.